Don, you ever seen these cards anywhere?
No.
Never.
Baby, you smart. You very smart. Matter of fact, you a genius. See, you let me hustle. You let me do what I need to do in them streets. I'm gonna show you something you ain't never seen before. Keep riding. You smart. Come with me, baby. Let's ride. I'm gonna hold you down.
As you can clearly see, we've been involved with DJ Khaled, and thank you to everyone who has helped us to get the We Smart Award. We clearly have earned it. As this is a Christmas special, this won't be an in-depth video blog about fashion IP law, but rather something to skim over it, just because one, I don't have the time to edit this, or we don't have the time to edit this, and two,
Boom boom, 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 boom boom.
So, as we start with fashion law, or rather to get a design right, and we'll focus on it, the difference between design right and copyright is quite simple. Design right focuses on the physical manifestation of an object, its shape, its contours, its texture, unlike copyright law, which focuses on the surface. So, for example, if you design a dress with a floral pattern, what's going to be protected under the design right will be its shape or its silhouette, rather than the floral images of it. Also, to kind of dismiss an urban myth, the whole idea of having 5 changes in an item to create its own design right is not actually true, because it's all to do with circumstances and fact. Design rights come under 2 regimes. One is the UK regime and the other one's the EU regime. But each of the two is subdivided by 2 points. One is unregistered and one is registered. The registered one is obviously you have to put some documentation, present sketches, etc., etc., to prove and to hold the right over a specific design. The unregistered one, you don't have to. But if you look at them, specifically the registered designs come under the Registered Design Act 1949, I think section 1. With design rights, to gain design rights, there is a similarity between registered and unregistered, that the design has to be original, and that's said in gold and Eskandar. And also, even if there are similarities between one design and the other, there has to be a substantial difference between them, and there has to be also, in the greater schemes, different from one another. The difference between registered and unregistered rights, apart from the administrative process, is that registered rights give you protection of up to 25 years, unregistered rights in the UK give you a protection of 15 years. So you can clearly see there's a difference between the two. But most people or most companies do not go for the registered design rights because it's very, very expensive, and considering how many designs are churned out and different subtleties are added from one item to another, it becomes slightly too expensive and pointless to that effect. So, well, if we go back to, and this continues on to EU design rights, registered design rights have 25 years. In EU unregistered, they have 3 years. If you have seasonal work that's only there for 1 year or for a few months, it's not going to cause much difference. And to be honest, when you have items that go out of fashion in a year's time, it's not going to affect anything. So it'll be pragmatic not to register a design. For you to be protected by EU law, there are 2 basic prerequisites. One is there must be no identical version of what you're seeking to register. And there also has to be individual characteristics of that item. There are things that would prevent design rights, apart from the actual design being identical to something else. One of which is that because the design rights focus on the contours and the shape of the item, things that are within the item, so hidden away in its compartments, or allow the item to work as it is, behind its skin or underneath its shape, which are not visible, will not be granted protection. Secondly, features of the design which are dictated by its functional aspect will not be protected either. But also it's the point that if you can have a design right over it, it almost becomes a patent in itself. So it touches upon another point of IP law. The last point I'd like to state is the idea of ownership, who owns what and why. Because with most fashion industries, you have the creative director or whoever you see as the major designer.
Derelict! It is a fashion, a way of life inspired by the very homeless, the vagrants, the crack whores that make this wonderful city so unique.
So, for example, you have Miyake, Karl Lagerfeld. You have to see them as almost creative directors. They're the ones that do not produce the designs themselves. They have people underneath them that suggest or are dictated by Miyake and Karl Lagerfeld in terms of what they want for this season. They'll state roughly what style, what colour, what cut they want their new item or style to be in. But this raises the question of who owns what copyright, etc., etc. Those who are creating for Miyake or Karl Lagerfeld do not own their copyright, subject to what is said in their employment contract. Their employment contract, if you read it, would state any form or specific forms of IP created for this purpose will belong to the fashion house, not to them. This falls within the Copyright Design Act, because when you do your sketches or when sketches are made, they are passed on to the employer as you have written something down which assigns their copyright. But hopefully you'll see a little chart which will give you basically the background of it. Thank you very much, Merry Christmas, and this is our gift to you.
Say my name, baby.
DJ Khaled.
Say my name, baby.
DJ Khaled.
You smart. You loyal. You're grateful. I appreciate that. Go buy your mama a house. Go buy your whole family houses. Put this money in your savings account. Go spend some money for no reason. Come back and ask for more. Baby, let the music take control. Let We the Best Sound take control, baby. Hold on, say my name.
DJ Khaled.
That's right. That's right, baby. You remember that. Bless up.